everyone, I'm Matt.
I'm Desiree.
And we're bringing you this week's Rising Tide West Coast Swing Guide.
We are back with a new guide series. This is Open West Coast Swing here on the Rising Tide West Coast Swing Guide. So the US Open, or the Open as it is now known, is a premier West Coast Swing event in our world. Happens around the end of November each year, and that's where folks put routines on the floor and you see the best of the best in West Coast Swing. Well, we thought we'd do a little play on words and teach you some open variations for this open season. So with that, we are going to start with the open whip, and we are going to tack on a few exits out of it. So let's start by demoing our traditional open whip, then with an inside and an outside turn. We'll break it down and follow.
So basic open whip, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Inside turn, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And outside turn, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
There we go.
Breaking this down for our leaders, the key difference really anytime that I want to take something from closed and make it an open pattern, I don't want to make Desiree move that extra arm's length of distance, because when we're in a closed whip, we're very close together. In the open whip, we're further apart. So for leaders, that beginning part, and also again, towards the end of the whip, I need to move myself. So I think about going back on 1, just like normal, and then forward on 2, continuing to go forward for 3 and 4. I'm then going to go forward again on 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Notice I'm really using the sides of my body to change the shape of my follower here. So it's not that I'm going through this perfectly square and perfectly square. There is a little bit of like a forward and a back side to each part of this movement.
And for our followers, I like this movement. It's kind of fun because we're always trying to stay way far away from our leader. And if we take that as our marching orders, then we're going to have a good open whip. So just like Matt said, we're using angles here. On counts 1, 2, it's a little bit like a regular whip. We're probably not going to rotate as much as a traditional whip, but then in 3 and 4, you'll notice I'm really trying to stretch the capacity of how far I can get away from Matt on either side for the 3, and still really staying back on 4. So followers, it's going to be important for you to really practice being able to shift your weight to one side of your body or the other. That really is accentuated in 1, 2, 3, stay away, and 4. Continue to stay away, pointing that foot. 5 and 6, you're anchoring so you already know to get away. One other thing that will apply to all 3 of these whips before we move into the inside turn and outside turn exits is the handhold. You could get into a sugar push, and then you've got your 2 hand hold in the open position to get into this whip. You could also start in the open hand hold, and if your leader does that, I don't want you to sweat worrying about catching the hand. Instead, think about kind of just taking your body where it needs to go, extending the arm, and by 3 and, this hand will catch and can be used for connection, whether or not you do the regular inside or outside turn exit open whip.
Yep, so breaking down those exits, just as a really quick overview, so in terms of inside turn, outside turn, if the hands go outside the partnership first, which means if I have my left hand, it's this way, if I have my right hand, it's this way, that's an outside turn. Likewise, if they go inside the partnership first, like this, or like this, that's an inside turn. So sometimes, like this whip with an inside turn almost feels for followers, especially like an outside turn, but because we have this different handhold, it's actually an inside turn.
A little bit of trivia there for you people.
Breaking this down. It's the same until 4. Notice I'm starting to lift this right side. It's not quite up yet, but I'm giving Desiree a sense that like this is the hand you're going to be following. This one's not as important. From here, I bring this one through as I take my 5, 6, and keep turning for 7 and 8.
Just a quick little tip on this particular exit for our followers. You are going to kind of have an extended arm here. This is really the slack is going to be eaten up, so don't be afraid to let that frame go a little bit, and then you can collect it on the way back. So we don't want an extended arm all the way through, but we do want an arm that can extend momentarily and then get back into range. Likewise, another tip here, we don't travel a ton for this regular version of the open whip with an inside turn. So yes, you want to anchor back, yes, you want to get back, but really Matt is going to be spooling, eating up some of the distance himself, based on what he is doing in the move, and that is going to be really effective at getting the stretch connection. So travel back just a bit.
Yep. And finally, our outside turn leaders, there's really not a lot to this one. So really just thinking about lifting this hand around 4. I almost think about basically just lifting the hand, and that's kind of what turns the follower. There's not a lot of power that I'm adding to this move. So if I show that without stopping, 3 and 4, I really just lift the arm up and over Desiree's head nice and gentle.
And the good thing here for followers is we're following this connection. There's a little tug here, but mostly this arm is leading. Just make sure you keep your frame here, which means that I'm not letting my arm go past my body, but I'm giving a little bit of tone, not tightness in the arm, which will carry me around.
That was your guide. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and check out our website and online store link in the description.
Bye!